We have the tech to get food delivered in 15 minutes, but we all have horror stories about buying tickets. The Game Time app gives fans the advantage. Get amazing tickets in just a few taps. Fees are included, so what you see is what you pay. And the Game Time guarantee means authentic tickets at the best price every time. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets to concerts, sports, comedy, and more with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Always follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Mitch back tomorrow. Paulie and Dustin. We're at halftime. France leads 1-0, and it's raining sideways in Philadelphia. 2.5 over -145, and draw is 15-1. What's going to happen with Giannis? For more, we talked to Sean Devaney. He is the NBA insider and content editor for Heavy.com, and he's on the Progressive guest line. Joins us now. Appreciate the time, my friend. Happy belated Father's Day. Does it appear to you and everything you're hearing that Giannis will be a member of the Celtics tomorrow?
If I had to put a bet on it, that's where I would go. I think that certainly there's a chance that what we're seeing is a lot of smoke and mirrors, and that they're trying to push Miami to up their offer a little bit and put a little more into the package. But really, there's not much more Miami can do. I mean, they've got limited assets. That's sort of where they are. So yeah, I do think that things favor where the Celtics are. If they could offer Jaylen Brown, maybe add another piece, whether it's Hugo Gonzalez, a draft pick, something like that to push this thing over the line. I think that's where the Celtics are right now.
All right, based on what you're seeing with the reports and everything you just mentioned there, Sean, how would you grade how Milwaukee and even Giannis, for that matter, have handled this situation? Because it's been going on for a long time, and I feel pretty underwhelmed by the package they're getting back.
Yeah, and, I would compare it to the Damian Lillard situation back when Portland traded him finally to Milwaukee and really got a very underwhelming package back because they waited too long. I mean, if you wait a year too long, then this is where you are. And that's what's happened. They had an opportunity. They had multiple opportunities to trade Giannis last year, and that was the time to do it. You don't wait until things have deteriorated to the point where he sat out basically almost half the season this year, and he's a year older, and he's closer to that $275 million extension that teams are a little wary of giving him. They fumbled this from the beginning. They should have done this last year. So I would not grade them well. D at best. I think no matter which package they wind up with, they really fumbled this for a guy of Giannis's stature to bring back the package. It looks like he's going to bring back. It's going to be a major, major disappointment.
How about the fit in Boston and now Mazzulla being forced to change the way they play and no more 53s a game?
Yeah, well, that would be a welcome thing in Boston, actually. Sometimes they get into a thing, and we saw it in the playoffs where they shoot themselves to a lead, and then they shoot themselves right out of the lead, and they have nothing in between. And I think that's one of the things. I think the big thing for the Celtics, and Brad Stevens said this at his press conference, was we don't have enough talent, and there's just not enough talent. There's too many holes in this roster, and that's true. The thing about Giannis is that he can fill. I mean, you think about it. You need a backup ball handler. Giannis can do that. You need a backup center. Giannis can do that. If you need a guy who can defend a little bit, defend different wings, defend power forwards, Giannis can do that. So this will allow them, if the Celtics wind up with them, this will allow them, different opportunities to put together, a roster that makes a little bit more sense around Jason Tatum, rather than what they've had, where their centers haven't been good, their depth hasn't been good. Giannis solves a lot of problems, assuming he stays healthy, assuming he stays on the floor.
Sean, the other big story today, Dusty May is going to leave Michigan, take on the head coaching job with the Dallas Mavericks. Of the names that you heard mentioned for that job, one of two openings remaining at the time, how shocked are you that it winds up being Dusty May leaving a national title team to take over the Mavericks organization?
I'm very shocked. We just haven't seen, and I think a lot of folks in the NBA thought that there'd be a pretty good pipeline of top coaches going from college to the NBA as NIL came in, and it became more difficult to sort of manage everything that a college coach has to manage now, transfer portal, all that stuff. But in fact, most college coaches have been pretty happy with where they are. There's more money being pumped into everything, and so it's become actually tougher. It's John Beilein for going from Michigan to the Cavaliers. Almost 10 years ago. That's the last time we had a college coach go into the NBA. So I was pretty surprised. I wasn't surprised that there was the interest. I was surprised that he pulled the trigger and that he's going to wind up in Dallas. Cooper Flagg is a pretty big draw, and ultimately that got him over the line.
John Devaney, our guest on the Progressive Guest Line, NBA Insider, and he's with Heavy.com. The Lakers seem to be mentioned trying to get a ton of guys and make a bunch of trades or doing their homework on certain guys. What do you think happens with the Lakers in their offseason?
I think they wind up bringing back much of what we saw last year, and that'll probably be disappointing to Lakers fans. But I think how they're looking at it is if we can bring back LeBron on a smaller deal. And have him kind of come back in that role where he was really successful to the late part of the season when they won the 16 out of 18 games. Have him be sort of the third guy with Austin Reeves, and I do think they're going to fully intend to bring back Austin Reeves. And of course, then you've got Luka. You bring back those three guys. I think you need a big man, and they're going to wait and see what happens with DeAndre Ayton and his option. That's going to be a decision. But once they get that decision, then they're going to be looking at, probably adding a center and adding like a Lou Dort type. Like that's probably where they're going to wind up. This isn't. I really don't think they're going to be in the Jalen Duren business, in the Walker Kessler business. I think they're going to be, much more interested in bringing back most of their core. And then adding a couple pieces to what they had, and then just you just got to stay healthy after that.
Do you anticipate it being a pretty aggressive offseason here? We've had 8 different NBA champs in 8 years. I think that means it's a message to the league that if you can turn it around, you can contend pretty quickly. And if you anticipate aggressiveness, who do you think are the teams that are going to be bold to make the most moves?
Yeah, I do think you're going to see some teams get a little bit aggressive. I don't know if it'll be enough. Obviously we've seen Miami. If Miami misses out on Giannis, I think they wind up, making a play for Kawhi Leonard. I think where he winds up is going to be a big storyline. I think Golden State is at a point where they've got to either contend or start tearing this thing down. So I think Golden State's going to be pretty aggressive. I think Minnesota's in that same bucket as well, where they've come close. They've been in the conference finals. They haven't broken through, but they're gonna, and we've already seen they've been in the Giannis talks. And they're going to get in Kawhi Leonard talks. They're going to get in all these other talks because, they really want to, they realize what they have, and they've got to try to push themselves over the top. So I would say those teams are probably the ones to keep an eye on here.
Okay. What would you do if you had a top 2 pick as far as what kind of pro and what you think of Peterson in that saga?
Look, I don't like anything from what I saw from Darren Peterson this year during the season playing for Kansas. I don't know what was going on exactly. And there's really no good reason for things to be the way that they were for him. However, when you talk to scouts, when you talk to GMs, they'll say, like, this guy, when they would play in the AAU circuit and it was Devonta against Peterson, Peterson won every time and won pretty handily. So I think in the end, you've got to just look at that and say, this guy's the better player, and whatever was going on, we'll figure it out. But this is the guy that we want, and that's nothing against Devonta. I think he's going to be a very, very good player. But it just seems to me like Peterson is the guy who just has a slight talent advantage there.
Do you anticipate it going Devonta, Peterson, Boozer in that order on Tuesday night?
I do anticipate that, but I do think there's a strong possibility, and it's a quiet possibility. The Wizards have been very good about holding their cards close to their chest here. But I do think there's a possibility that Peterson sneaks in there. I do think ultimately it's probably Devonta. It's a safer play, no question. If you're Washington, and they might be in that business at this point with where they are, and they want to turn it around. They want to win right away. And I think Devonta is probably the better straight line there. But if you want to get, and you only get one chance at having this number one pick. If you want to get the best guy, it's probably going to wind up being Peterson.
Great perspective. Thanks for a few minutes, and enjoy tomorrow. And thanks for a few minutes, and talk to you soon, sir.
Okay, thank you, guys.
All right. Wanted a hardcore breakdown of the Buffalo Wild. He's a Buffalo Wild Wings enthusiast. You don't see that every day.
First of all, Buffalo Wild Wings is a fascinating restaurant. I've been to their establishments in probably 5 major cities in the country. I have never had good service at any of them.
Come on.
But hold on. I go back because I think their wings are that good.
I'm here for the whole breakdown, though. How much sauce, how spicy, how crispy. The best way to have your wings.
I'm a big mango habanero fan. I like sweet and spicy. I want by wing 5 a tear to roll down my face like the old Native American in the ad with the pollution, the littering, and he's picking it up. I want one streak of tears going down my street. I also decided while we were talking to Sean, if this is the package that Milwaukee's going to get for Giannis, I think Oklahoma City, Cleveland, Atlanta, Minnesota, and how about this? I think Denver needs to come up with a better offer.
To his point, in the last couple hours, Peterson went from minus 140 to 225 to go second. Boozer now minus 250 to go third. And he's over 70% Peterson to go second at Pauly Market.
It's not just that I bet a bad number. I took Boozer plus 180 to go second. I still think he could go second. I'm not so sure it's just Darren Peterson's a lock there. When you factor in what Utah has on the line this year, I don't know if they can handle that volatility.
We have a weather delay.
Oh
boy. Halftime weather delay with France. So, yeah, this is ugly. We'll get to the MLB card with a game ready to go here coming up, and a pitcher who's 10-1 with a 1.84 is against his opponent straight up next. So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match. Here's the thing. Pro bettors spend thousands on data and tools, but what they don't want you to know is you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and more. Tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Pauly and Dustin, we got a weather delay in Philly. You talk about when you look at restart time, warm-up time, probably 4 o'clock Pacific when they're ready to start the second half. And France leads 1-0 and Mbappe with the goal. That could screw my under now.
Yeah.
If it stops raining.
You know what? Let's see what the adjustment is, because I originally was on the over 3.5. I went back and took the under 3.5. I ate a lot of juice on that, but willing to do so thinking they were going to play in the rain. But if they come out and the weather's good now and all things are back to being equal, I like my original over. I can go over 2.5 minus 145. Under 2.5 is plus $1.13.
Son of a gun. And it also begs the question, what does it look like in Jersey? Because Senegal and Norway come up at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific as well. Phillies and Nats in a rain delay. And the Yankees and Tigers just underway. Top of the first. I can't believe the number. Like you, the Yankees only $1.20. Cole 10-1 with a 1.84 career against the Tigers, and they have lost 7 of the last 8 Valdez starts as well.
Yeah, I've toyed with the idea of doing something with the Tigers, big picture, on the thought that maybe they hold on to Skubal. I just don't think they're going to be able to do that with everything that's impending with a potential lockout down the road. I think this is their chance to get maximum value for Skubal if they're out of it. But are they really out of that division still? You got the Jose Ramirez injury to Cleveland.
No way. You're 5.5 back, right?
You've got
something like that.
You've got Dingler behind the plate. He's like Babe Ruth right now.
Yes.
I mean, I don't think it's crazy if you wanted to back Detroit to make the playoffs, win the division, heck, win the pennant as Paul Goldschmidt goes up the middle there.
7.5 back. You're not out of it. No
I don't
way.
think
Especially
it's
what
crazy.
they did 2 years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
And you got a manager in A.J. Hinch, who I know is getting absolutely crushed by people. But what can you get them on them to win the American League right now? Detroit to win the AL is 40-1. I'm trying to find a long shot to buy in on. They're a team I want.
Yeah.
Baltimore, I also took a little bit on at 28-1, which is funny because I also bet them 25-1 to win the World Series. I get them 28-1 to win the American League. And then like an idiot, I bet the Mets at 40-1 to win the National League because I hate myself. Just hate myself. I want to torture myself. It's Lindor coming back.
Tampa Bay up to 195 now at home against Kansas City. And Rasmussen's been so good. Best home record in all of baseball. They're 2-1 so far on this 10-game homestand. And it's getting away from us now with the price. But still the run line is plus $1.15 on the Rays, who've been so good at home. And Rasmussen, a great story. They should take out Kansas City here. It was a terrible form with the Royals.
I don't know if I've ever been as wrong about a team as I was about I thought the Royals could win the pennant this year. I thought they were that stacked. They had some offense. Reagans would pitch like an ace. He's been injured. I do like this under. I'm not going to bet it. I'm trying to show some self-control in some forms of my life these days.
Well, you made the case for an under in this game, and I'm with you. And it's Toronto against Houston.
I love it.
It's Cease against Brown. Total of 7. Cease is a $1.30 favorite. Last 5 against Houston. Cease is 5-0 with a 1.76.
Oh, it was a replay. No, I thought they were back underway in the rain. I got caught by the replay. Yeah, look, Cease has, you touched on it earlier, great career numbers against Houston, which kind of surprises you because when you think of Cease as a pitcher, you think of the walks, you think of getting into trouble, always having that blow-up inning that ruins his numbers. And against the Houston lineup that's been awesome during Cease's prime, yet going back 5-6 starts, this guy's been electric against Houston. Last 3 seasons, 4 starts, a 1.05 ERA, a .662 WHIP, 26 strikeouts, 25 1/3, a 3.35 ERA lifetime against them, and 2 starts off the IL. He's been amazing, a .82 ERA over those 2, 18 strikeouts at Boston versus Philly. Hunter Brown, second start for him off the injured list.
Yeah.
He was really good against Detroit. Last year, he was exceptional against Toronto. 7 shutout innings with 9 strikeouts. And then Toronto on the road doesn't score any runs, 3.87 runs per game. Can we figure out what's going on with Vlad Guerrero Jr.?
No home runs at home.
How
What is that?
How can he not hit home runs?
It's like Tatis. I don't know. Same thing.
Something that's not
Singles
right.
hitters, double hitters now.
That's
I
not,
know.
You're not getting paid to do that, man.
No kidding.
Sacrifice some of that average and put some lift on the baseball.
Now, when they get underway in Washington, it's Griffin going for the Nats. He's number 2 in ROI. They were $1.25 against the Phillies, who are trying to catch the Braves. Have been great since Mattingly took over. Schwarber trying to go deep again, but total of 9.5 in that one. And I'm with you on the Brewers. This is scary now. You get Woodruff back. He's $1.55, total of 9.5 against Singer. They did lose 2 out of 3 to the Braves. Then again, they spit one of those games up as well. And the Miz finally lost as they got beat 2-1 on Friday. Good call by JJ on that one. But I'm with you on the Brewers here, and he's laying $1.50. And this is scary if he's good, what their rotation could look like.
I had them last year around this time a year ago. I took them 30-1 to win the National League. Obviously, you're not going to get that number now. But if Woodruff can be the ace they thought he was going to be, and he's just the number 3 now. Because I think Harrison, you take that the start in Las Vegas, you throw it out. It's not real. That's Fugazi. Miz into Harrison, into Woodruff. Hopefully Henderson comes back. Maybe they make a move. There's a guy out there. The combination of the bullpen should be good enough there. The offense is better than it's been. Churio's hitting for power since he returned. But is it good enough to beat the Dodgers in an NLCS? They got swept a year ago. Are they better than they were a year ago? Minus Peralta and the young guys getting better? I still don't see it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Yeah. I
love this team, but I can't do it.
Sure. I see runs in this Twins game. You like the over in the Mets game. Senga's been so bad. It's Imanaga for the Cubs. Okay. The total in the Dodger game is 10. And it's Matthews. Klein will start, backed up by Lauer. Buxton's been on fire. 364 with 7 bombs last 14. Twins all of a sudden have won 6 of 7, averaging 8 runs a game. Dodgers have won all 4 Lauer starts as they embark on a 9-game road trip. Dodgers $1.50 against the Twins. It's not the total. It's just you just like the Cubbies?
I was like the
It's
Cubs.
a fade of Senga?
Yeah, it's only minus 126 now. I bet minus 110 last night. But, I mean, I don't think that's factoring how bad Senga's been. I think the Cubs will figure out a way to score on Senga. And the Mets offense isn't good enough to keep up, even though they have a good track record against Imanaga. I mean, he's been horrible in 2 out of 3 starts against them for a while now. But I don't really see. I don't see the Mets doing much tonight. I think Senga, with the walk issue that he's had, he's been really bad, man. 12 walks in his last 4 starts. That's 12 1/3 innings. And then Chicago's offense should be able to score in the Mets. 25th in OPS against lefties, 5th fewest runs per game on the season overall. They're not a good home team either, which is really hard to be. And then something else I was considering as well. I kind of want to go Kyle Bradish under on his K prop. I'm looking VSiN.com/MLB props. It's set at 6.5. He's against the Angels on the road. My hesitation is the Angels do strike out a lot, but Bradish isn't as good on the road. I don't know if he's going to go as deep into this game as anticipated. He tends to let up a bunch of hits when he's away from Camden Yards. I haven't gotten there, but VSiN.com Opta AI projections, slight under lean at -3.2% there on the website.
Okay. Paulie and Dustin, VSiN Follow the Money, the Sports Betting Network. In the last 20 minutes, a bit of a move on Giannis to the Heat. Celtics down to 52% at Paulie Market. Heat are 43%. And a big move on Peterson to go number 2. Number 1, 2 people that cover the league, and I respect, switched up on us after saying they felt Boozer would go number 2. Then they changed their mind and said it's going to go Peterson number 2. At Paulie Market, he's 70% to go second overall, and Boozer is now 71% to go third. And you saw a huge move on DraftKings as well with that number 2 and number 3 overall pick in that market also.
I'm coming around to your side of things. I think the Miami offer's better.
I would take
Boston's.
that. Because what you got to rebuild.
I don't buy the Jaylen Brown thing. He wants to have his own team. He was awesome a year ago. Like, I'm not going to take it away from him. The scoring was elite, but it's because he was getting volume.
Yeah, okay.
Tatum's out of the lineup. He's got a great analytics team around him in Boston. Is he going to have that in Milwaukee as the focal point now? And also, it's a year where people know how to use him. They're going to find ways to defend him and slow him down. There's a lot of limitations in his game. If I'm Milwaukee, my hope is I'm trading for Jaylen Brown. He gets off to a great start when he's eligible to trade him. You force a team like Atlanta. He's from the Atlanta area. You force another team to overpay on what Jaylen Brown is. He's not a number 1, especially on a team that's going to win.
Yeah. I'll tell you what's hilarious. How about this timing? We brought up Lawless earlier, right? And then Awful Announcing just did an article on how no one likes him and he's despised, right?
Yes.
You got Zlatan sitting next to Lawless, and they got to kill time for a weather delay.
Oh, that's
they got to tap. They might have to tap dance for another hour, 45 minutes.
Do we think that maybe some of that is a way to lean into ratings? Or do you think it's genuine hatred?
I think it's legitimate that football fans, soccer fans, and media do not like the guy.
Are they being anti-American, or is it anti-lawless?
No, it's Lawless.
They just don't. Okay, they just don't. Like
I understand your point earlier about the negativity.
Yeah.
Well, what's he supposed to say? We stunk every year.
Yeah, we were horrible at soccer.
That's fine. Yeah. Yeah.
We're supposed to say, hey, things are looking up as we get kicked again.
Well, when do you see that, though? Wait, we moved Lawless out of the studio. Zlatan, you're welcome, America. I mean, it's incredible stuff. We'll stick with soccer when a weather delay in Philly, but he was at the Argentina win and saw history with Messi earlier. We'll talk to Alex Crook up next. He has an opinion on Norway and Senegal coming up on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, Sirius XM, Channel 158.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
All right, win-lose coming up. Ton of plays. You know what Dustin likes to fire. More action than a John Wick movie. Get to that coming up. Again, weather delay in Philly. France leads 1-0. 2.5 over -140. 3.5 under -260. And draw is 15-1. And they're expected to start at about half an hour with the restart. And we'll see how that goes. And I hope it doesn't stop raining, Because I don't think we're going to see another goal. It was raining sideways when they stopped it.
Yeah, I imagine they only do this when it comes to lightning. They should be able to play through the rain. How about this? The one American element we probably should have introduced to the World Cup was domes. I'm a big dome guy. I know a lot of people on the network are pretty split on this.
Yeah.
But I prefer to take the weather out of the equation if I can. It's something I don't want to check. And by the way, I've never seen a John Wick movie.
What?
Not one.
Come on.
Never seen one
You're
of them.
missing out big.
They're that good.
Yes, they are. Incredible action sequences.
All right.
Dynamite.
All
I
right.
really highly recommend it. Also, Norway and Senegal in 90 minutes. These matches could run into one another, but also check the weather because it's in Jersey and it was supposed to rain. Draw plus 240. Again, you're up 29 units. Betting draw in every match. Total of 2.5. I bet BTTS minus 140. And again, the FOMO parlay, it hit last week. Messi got 2, and Mbappe's already scored. You want to parlay with Haaland if he can get 2, and if he can get it done here with Norway. How'd you play Norway-Senegal?
Yeah, I'm going with the draw here. I took plus 240. I hope the weather impacts it. I'm trying to look right now, East Rutherford at MetLife where this game's being played. Does look like thunderstorms, does look like a flood watch, 2 p.m. Monday till 6 a.m. Tuesday. I don't know if they're even going to get this game in, or this match in. Sorry, I don't want the Euros to come for me here. But I just think we're going to look at a Senegal team that's pretty athletic, that's going to be able to close the gap some against Norway. Norway's the better team, but I think Senegal's going to be able to hang here. We haven't seen them be tested against a team that has elite transition ability. They're going to try to attack them vertically. I think Senegal's going to be up to the task for the most part. So I took the draw at plus 240 because I think at this point, with the way this thing is hitting, up 29 units coming into today, you have to find one game on the board a day to bet the draw in the World Cup.
You imagine if this ends 1-1? If somehow France concedes and then the weather's bad. And I mean, this is 15-1 right now.
I didn't even
what
think
that
about
would go
that.
to. I like Algeria at night at Santa Clara, 11 Eastern start time, 8 on the West Coast. Jordan, no wins last 9. 4 of their last 5 have gone over 3.5. Weather not going to be a problem. 70 degrees in the Bay Area. Algeria has been, they beat Netherlands in qualifying, also had a 0-0 draw against Uruguay. I like them to win coming up in the late match. Okay, our NFL betting guide's out. It's fantastic. Whether you're betting futures, win totals, division races, get it with our football special for just $175. Dustin with a great breakdown earlier. Piggybacking Will Hill on McVay, Coach of the Year at 40-1. Also Purdy, MVP. I like the Zach Cohn article about worst to first candidates, and it happens every year, and how many times it happened last year. But looking at, I'm throwing out the Raiders, no good. But he made a strong case for the Lions, who they got a ton of love, and in our picks, it was 16 people picked them to win the division. 3 picked the Packers, 2 Vikings, 2 Bears. Lions, a lot of people point to the easy schedule, but there's a worst to first candidate right there.
Look, I'm someone who had 60-1 on Tyler Shuck to win Offensive Rookie of the Year last year. He certainly surprised me, but I don't know if I'm willing to jump in on them winning that. I think that division's a little trickier than you think. I might actually you're going to think I'm nuts. I might like the Falcons if Penix is able to play this year more than I like the Saints.
Yeah?
Yeah, I
don't mind that.
I think Algier being gone means more Bijan. I'm just not sold on New Orleans. And Kellen Moore did a fine job in year 1. Is the defense good enough?
Yeah.
Do they have a good enough pass rush? I have a lot of questions for everyone to love New Orleans. Detroit's easy, but here's what I would say about Detroit. They had 2 very clear needs going into the offseason. Or 3, I should say. Offensive line, I guess they kind of addressed in the offseason. Cade Mays, the center, comes over. They drafted Blake Miller out of Clemson. I don't know if that's enough. They need another edge rusher. They need cornerback play. They didn't really fix either of those issues. That is concerning to me. Plus, I think we're starting to see that Ben Johnson may have been the mastermind behind that Detroit Lions run.
No kidding. More on this coming up. Better late than pregnant. Alex Crook joins us now from Talk Sport, chief football correspondent. He saw history with Messi earlier today in the 2-0 win. It's on the Progressive Guest Line. Appreciate the time. How about a thought on Norway-Senegal and what you think happens coming up from Jersey?
Yeah, nice to finally be able to join you. I'm still amongst the Argentina fans outside the stadium in Dallas. They're absolutely enraptured tonight about seeing Lionel Messi become the record World Cup goal scorer. A lot of them are very bullish about their chances of going all the way and making it back-to-back World Cups. I have to say, having watched their first 2 games, having seen Messi in the flesh today propel them to victory. I'm coming around to the idea of Argentina as potential world champions. They might have to beat England, my England, in the semi-final. That would be a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of that Norway Senegal,
Okay. Oh,
We lost them.
all right. All that.
Valiant effort.
Yeah, that was tough.
It was worth a shot.
One of those days. It was worth a shot.
I think Freddie cut the line because he heard what I was saying about him earlier.
In any event, he likes under 3.5 in Norway, Senegal. And tomorrow he likes England to win to 0 against Ghana. Couple picks there from Alex. Okay, so worst to first again, as you were saying, other candidates. How about Zach making a case for Tennessee, though?
I got to tell you, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think Robert Saleh is a guy we're going to find out got a really raw deal that was sabotaged by Aaron Rodgers in New York.
10-1 coach of the year, though? 10-1? Come on.
It's short, but it's all there. If you're looking for the most improved, you're looking – because I think he walks into a situation with a pretty good defense, and then they added a ton as well. This is how you capitalize on a young quarterback not making a lot of money. They brought in Jermaine Johnson from the Jets, who he knows. Jonathan Franklin Myers, who he knows. They drafted, I really like the linebacker they took out of Texas, Anthony Hill. I think the secondary can be improved some, but you got Jeffrey Simmons, who they just signed to an extension. They've got a ton of depth on this defense. And then offensively, Daboll as the coordinator, he liked Cam Ward a lot out of college. And I think he fits what Daboll wants to do with the quick shots. That's why Wan'Dale Robinson is there over the middle. I think Wan'Dale Robinson over receiving for the year is something to look at because I think they're going to feed him a lot. Carnell Tate could emerge as a one. They have Calvin Ridley there. I think this is a really solid team with a nice little run game. Tajay Spears, Tony Pollard. Division isn't all that daunting outside of Houston to me. I think they can make a huge jump this year. I'd look to their win total, though, before I'd actually bet them to win the division.
There you go. 2 people picked them to win the division in the guide, 15 on the Texans. And again, run for the hills. 12 people picked the Bengals to win the division. I cannot believe we're doing this. I cannot believe we're doing this again with the Bengals. 11 picked the Ravens. 7, I love this. 7 picked the Saints. 6 picked Tampa. 6 picked Atlanta. 4 Carolina. What a division that's going to be. I think we had the 3-way tie at the end.
I know people. It's not trendy to defend Todd Bowles here, but I think he's being a little disrespected here.
Totally agree.
I think this defense
and Baker.
This defense has a chance to be really good. Antoine Winfield Jr. is one of the best safeties in the league. They've got really good up front play with Vita Vea. I think the draft pick of Ruben Bain, he might be your defensive rookie of the year. I don't care about the short arms. The T-Rex had short arms. It was a menacing force across this globe when it was running around here. But then offensively, look, while I love Mike Evans, and he's a guy that I touted earlier in why I like Brock Purdy so much, you have Igbukah, you have McMillan, you have Godwin, even Tez Johnson popped at times a year ago. I just think this team with Bucky Irving and Kenneth Gainwell and Sean Tucker relying on the defense, the ground game as well, they're still the team that you got to go through in the South.
Mackinnon's got some win totals up there, a plethora of win totals from all the experts, Super Bowl picks. Matt Humans on the Chiefs at a big number as well, and a lot of Cincinnati love. Whether you're betting futures, win totals, division races, MVP, the guide helps you get ahead of the mark before training camp begins. Every team breakdown, division breakdowns, win totals, best bets, futures. Get it today with the football special, just $175. The sooner you sign up, the more value you get. Full access, everything we do across every sport through the Super Bowl. Every best bet, every host, every guest, real-time betting splits, DK and Circa, AI-powered prop projections. Head to vsin.com/subscribe now, vsin.com/subscribe. Get the football special for $175. It's fantastic. Guys did a great job. Get up there and start winning. And great picks and great analysis and a great job by everyone. Yankees on the board early. 1-0 in the second. They're underway in Tampa. Rain delay still with Washington. And we have the weather delay in Philly with France. And it's supposed to start in about 20 minutes. And these matches could run into one another with Norway and Senegal. Well, Dustin's here, so you know he's loaded with all the picks. We'll recap what happened over the weekend. A great mix between WNBA, draft, and soccer with win-lose coming up on VSiN. Follow the money Sirius XM Channel 158, live from Circa.
The guy has an algorithm to determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right, good weekend. Nice run.
Hey.
I think it's 8 of 10. Let's keep it going. The Yankees-Tigers parlay hit. That was even money. Like a lot of people, I bought in as well with Turk. How bad? If you could all this hype, right? And you haven't even scored yet? What a disaster Turkey's been. They give up the goal right away to Paraguay, and they couldn't score when they played an entire half a man down. Netherlands, Sweden over 2.5 ice cream. That was awesome. No problem there. Fever dream over again. No problem there. The back to they play a 109-101. And then they come back with a 176 total. Angel Reese goes over again. More on her coming up. Schauffele, top 5, no good. Finished 11th.
Oh,
I know that was tough. And
he was right there.
I know. It was bad. It was bad Sunday. And Morocco, easy time of it against Scotland. They scored a minute in, and that held up against Scotland. Scotland's phony. Play against them.
I have Morocco winning their group. It was chalky, but I didn't care.
Yeah, not bad. Okay, so Morocco, an easy winner, and they're huge favorites coming up in their next match. We're in trouble here. For the whole tournament, own goals under 10.5. We're already on 8. It's incredible. Iran, fewest goals in the tournament, 8-1. They have 1, and we'll get creative and get going here in the next round. Games to go to penalty shootouts over 4.5. That's all the pending. To the new plays. Reese to score 15 points. Still, if you want how you want to play with the ladders, but the juice is $1.50. Again, this keeps cashing. Look at the game log with Angel Reese. 18, 21, 15, 25, 17, 18 points. Becoming a scorer in Atlanta, but also a option and a weapon. Attempts, field goal attempts, 14, 14, 19, 22, and 12. And they're playing a bad team that doesn't play any defense today. Over points with Reese again. Brazil, Morocco parlay. It pays $1.65. Brazil first half against Scotland. I can't believe the price. They should be able to handle Scotland, no problem, coming up on Wednesday. And a Brazil, Netherlands, Ivory Coast parlay, -120. I know it's always perilous trade in the three-way, but I think those 3 teams should have an easy time of it, and that should get home as well. What's been a fantastic World Cup. Good luck, everyone.
3 ways are a lot of pressure, Paul. I wouldn't know. It's only what I've heard. NBA draft prop I'm looking at right now.
Oh, you bum.
Let's go Darius Acuff. I'm going under, pick 6.5. I think Sacramento, who all the reports are in love with him, they're going to be forced to trade up and get him. So I think because of that, he goes under 6.5, potentially going in the 5-6 spot there. I paid a little bit of juice at -155. This one looks a little bit better following the news that Dusty May is taking over in Dallas. Yeah. Dallas pick number 9. They could probably use a big like a Demara. I went under 9.5 at +150. I don't know if that's where he goes at 9. He might actually go before that. He's a fit for a few different teams just because of the rim protection ability that he brings to the table. I also took a flyer on this, and you can get a better number now if you like it, but I don't know if it's a lock that Darren Peterson goes number 2.
Huge move in the last 3 hours.
Yeah, and I'm going against it right now, but Boozer is
you can get plus 270 at DK.
Boozer's across the board a good player. He can do everything. He'll hit the ground running. And I think Utah needs to capitalize this year. They've built for this season. They want to make an impact right now with all the moves they've made over the last couple of years. I think Boozer, you can make a case, gives them more versatility in their lineup. So I took a shot at +180. It could be wrong, but I think at almost 2-1 and now +270 is certainly worth a look. I'm also on the Yankees, who right now, Cole in a little bit of trouble. Runner on second, 1 out in the second. But I took a -124. I also mentioned pairing the Yankees money line with Cole to get over 4.5 strikeouts at +130. I didn't hate that. Speaking of strikeouts, give me Gavin Williams tonight. for Cleveland against the White Sox. Overs 5.5 Ks, minus 143 juice. White Sox have the third highest K rate in baseball. He only had 4 in 7 earned runs in 5 innings against Milwaukee, but this is a totally different lineup. Chicago's good at scoring runs, but they're an all-or-nothing team. They swing and miss a lot. He's gone over this number in 3 or 4 road starts, had 5 and 7 against them last year. Give me the over Ks on him. I'm also on the under 7, Astros and Blue Jays. Cease, great historic numbers against the Astros in his career. Hunter Brown's second start off the IL. He looked tremendous there. He was incredible against this same Blue Jays team a year ago in Toronto. Yep. 4th fewest runs per game on the road. I'm also on the Cubbies, minus 110. It's up to minus 126 at Citi Field. That one starts in a weather delay. But I don't see how Senga should be anything lower than plus $1.30. He stinks. The fact that he's plus 105 gives us a discount the other way with the Cubs. And then I added this one. I used a profit boost to take it from 35-1 to 43-1. I took Kyle Schwarber MVP over the weekend. He can't stop hitting home runs.
He might hit 60.
If he hits 65 homers, can we make the case? It feels like the Cal Raleigh argument all over again. You need his history on your side. But in a world where Ohtani maybe misses a few weeks for injury, I'll like to have 35-1 in pocket, and it's such a big number. I'm not risking that much. If nothing comes to fruition, it's fine by me.
They just tapped out. They just threw it to another match. They can't tap dance anymore. I feel so bad for Rebecca Lowe. She was stuck with Zlatan.
They're replaying a match?
And Lawless. She had to tap dance for an hour. No end in sight on when this match is going to resume. And they threw it to the USA-Australia match, the replay.
Well,
they tapped out, said, we can't do it anymore.
I mean, it's not quite like back in the day when we'd watch Taxi and Cheers growing up during the weather delay.
Well, yeah.
That's how I got hooked on the show Taxi.
Remember WGN and TBS? When the weather delay, we'll throw.
Yeah,
okay.
Syndication.
What happens if it doesn't stop lighting and they can't get this in?
They have to finish it. It's the World Cup. It only happens every 4 years. You can't have a match that not finished and ended because of weather.
What are they going to do? Going to pick it up tomorrow?
Do they factor that into the schedule with the gaps in the games and the travel and all that and all the delays that they have? Will they be able to pack the building again? I assume so.
4:30 isn't happening, I'll tell you that.
No.
Not if the stadium was empty and they're showing the USA match on replay. Forget that. This is incredible.
No, not if they're starting this.
Oh, man.
This is dicey for them.
All right.
No.
Sports calendar never stops. Sharp Plays covers it all. Winning for 15 straight years. When they move, the books take notice. Advanced AI, trusted insider intel. They find the value before the numbers shift. Respected, watched, and feared. Start winning with them. SharpPlays.com. Great with soccer. Great sources. And look for the Mr. Poison tweets every day. SharpPlays.com. Okay. So I asked JJ this, and I asked Humans. I did not know Humans was a 90% free throw shooter in high school. I'll give you $1 million. You have to either score. You get to go score on a PK or make a free throw. What are you going to choose?
First of all, Humans quoting, he was in high school like 50 years ago. That's a wild quote. I guess that's one skill that doesn't deteriorate, though.
You saw Messi miss the goal today. Missed it.
So that's the thing is, I think there's too many variables at play when it comes to the penalty kick. Theoretically, if you can get the goalie to dive in the wrong direction, because he's just going off instinct and he doesn't know what you're going to do.
Well, he's got 3 options. He can go left, right, or stay in the center.
Totally.
So, yeah, that's people keep saying the goalie might guess right.
I also have
you're going to go in cold and knock down a free throw?
The goalie is one variable. I also need to be able to know where I'm kicking the ball. It's one variable. Another one is I could miss the net completely.
You could.
That's my issue here. Or I might not kick it fast enough or too high. I can go too high potentially here. At least with a free throw, I have a track record where I know I've hit them in the past. I think I could get 2 of them. So just based on those numbers, I think that's the better choice for me is to go free throw just because at least I've done it before.
God, that's a lot of pressure, though. I'd feel so much better just mano a mano against a keeper. And I have all that room as opposed to try to not. And I've won a free throw shooting contest.
I might kick and miss the ball completely.
Oh, stop.
You don't even know. All the pressure.
Come out cold and knock down a free throw?
Yeah,
because me and Humans continue to just say this should be easy, no problem. But for the pressure, I can't believe what Messi. They were stunned. The announcers were stunned. The whole stadium was stunned that he hesitated and waited, and then he kicked. There wasn't a lot of velocity on it.
It was weird. It was like he deked himself out.
Yeah,
like he tried to do too much.
Yeah.
As someone who, look, the bet would have cashed, but I wanted to lay the 1.5 at plus 132. I ultimately did not. And after that happened, I said, you know what? I'm happy I didn't do it because I don't want to sweat it out, having to think in my brain that Messi, of all people, missed an easy penalty shot, which, by the way, I don't think he should have gotten a penalty shot on that. I think they played the ball first.
Fair enough. All right. A lot of fun, my man. Good job.
Yeah, man.
Great job with the guide. Mitch back tomorrow. And I don't know what's going to happen with France and Iraq with the weather delay. No end in sight. Norway and Senegal coming up. Our guest Alex likes under 3.5. I like BTTS minus 140. And you have to play. You can't FOMO. You got to play Haaland to score. Mbappe already scored. Messi got 2, and the big 3 did it last week to cash. And Harry Kane, you want to throw in there as well as they take on Ghana coming up. Draft day is here tomorrow. Finally, we'll get a resolution and an end to what happens with Giannis. What's going to happen at 1, 2, and 3. The meat man is back. Mike Palm with a quick hit. And we'll also talk with Anthony Irwin about what the Lakers are going to do. Humans coming up next. Have a fun night. Cash some tickets. Thank you, Dustin.